Happy Thursday afternoon. Going to welcome Christian here as the NAHB Program Manager for Safety. Christian is responsible for the development and administration of NAHB safety education and training programs, as well as assisting and advocating for NAHB members, legislative safety priorities, and assisting on the OSHA regulatory functions for the association. Christian's safety experience has included 4 years as a safety specialist student worker at Slippery Rock University. He has reported and fulfilled all of his duties to the environmental health and safety director at the university. Christian interned for First Energy Corporation as an industrial hygienist intern and performed duties such as safety training, respirator fit testing, which is great for my guys, and machine guarding audits. Christian graduated as a student marshal for the class of 2016 College of Business from Slippery Rock University of Pennsylvania with a Bachelor of Science degree in safety management. Christian started his full-time work experience with Amazon as a safety specialist at fulfillment centers in Cincinnati, in Dallas, Charlotte. And prior to NHB, Christian recently worked for James G. Davis Construction Corporation as a safety manager in the commercial construction industry. Christian holds certifications such as Graduate Safety Practitioner and OSHA 30-hour. Christian is determined to help create a more proactive safety environment in the residential home building industry. Christian, welcome to our group.
Thank you.
Thank you, Christian.
Pleasure to have me here today, and I appreciate it. Selena reached out to me, and I was more than happy to talk about ongoing OSHA issues, stuff that's happening in the residential world right now with that relates to health and safety, newer statistics that are being shown in the residential industry, and I'm also here for any questions that you might have today, and also if I don't know the answer, I'll point you in the right direction, or I'll just leave your email and I'll get you the right materials after this presentation. Or if you ever need me, I'll provide my email as well. I'm always more than willing to help reach out, because I was in the field prior to at NHB, so I know what it's like out there sometimes trying to follow OSHA regulations and you're trying to get the job done. So, but from there on out, I will share my screen. We can do a brief presentation on
Hey, Christian, you want me to do the pictures first?
Oh yeah. Let's do that.
Okay, hang on. So we got, in spirit of the topic, we've got some photos that we can all look at that we think will be a little interesting.
And get everyone warmed up on safety by looking at hazards of what you actually see throughout the entire country still on home building sites.
All right, can you guys see my screen? Do you guys see my pictures?
I see them.
Yes.
Yes, I see him, Selena.
Yeah.
So clearly this is not safe.
Yeah, as you see, some of these are kind of drastic and but you do see these probably 6 to 7 times out of 10 on a job site, especially the one right here on a scaffold, because you won't see that guy probably just doesn't want to wait another 2 hours to get a ladder just because he has to hit his lead times. Or this one's probably kind of comical. You see these guys trying to set roof trusses right there. And that one's just, you see these a lot with ladders as well. These are all just kind of just to get your mind thinking, and kind of humor, just seeing certain people what they do on job sites just to get the task at hand finished for that day.
That's a classic.
Yeah.
This one's kind of more scary. You see trench collapses are still very common in our industry, unfortunately. We've had numerous members that have had issues with trench collapses in the recent years. You see another structural collapse here. That's more from the structural engineering side of things. And I think this guy just wants a death sentence. Basically like trying to hang himself there if he falls. But you get those kind of people out there. So you got to be aware. You got to be aware of the people you manage. You got to make sure they have the right training. Some of it's common sense, and then some of it's just, you know, repetition, because you might not get it on the first try because there's so many regulations and standards and practices out there. But in the end, from my experience, I think it just all comes down to leadership and management, just making sure you're crossing your T's, dotting your I's, and making sure you have all the right documentation, and just like at least putting in the efforts.
Yep, agreed. So kind of fun, not fun, you know, clearly they're not doing the safety stuff there, but in spirit of that, wanted to remind everyone that we are having a fall prevention in residential construction. I don't know what happened to my screen, it just went black. On October the 21st, I think. Anyway, I'll take a look at that and get that back. But anyway, it's free. You can earn NAHBCE credits. It's open to members and, of course, non-members. So it's in the newsletter. It's on the calendar for the later this month. So definitely check that out when you have a chance.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Christian, up to you.
All righty. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just going off Selena. Yeah, we normally do those these trainings in person. We usually get like a grant from OSHA, usually every year or every other year, depending on our workload, and we send trainers out to local associations around the entire country and do like a 4.5 hour fall prevention training. And it's a very good, you know, very hands-on, and it's definitely beneficial. So, but virtual is still very good. I've reviewed most of them, so I would definitely encourage other members or your other coworkers and colleagues to attend that training. But yes, I will now share my screen and go to little presentation we got here. There we go. So, all right, so can everyone see my presentation?
Yep.
Yes. All right, cool. All right, so I'm just giving like a brief like fall like issue, quote unquote, 2020 home building job site safety 101, kind of like what's been going on, what we've been seeing, what we've been doing. Also stuff that deals with like the OSHA fall stand down that happened recently. I'm not sure if anyone else participated, but you know, the fall stand down got pushed from May this past year to a week ago. And if you did that with your coworkers, or if you did a virtual one, kudos to you. But I'll go over like what OSHA said and what's been going on in that area as well. So I was in a meeting last week with OSHA, and they're really going to be targeting residential construction, as they have in the past, but they brought up that residential construction and roofing is are the #1 fatalities in falls right now. And they're trying to make this mission next year into 2021 to make an admission at residential construction and roofing to prevent those. Here's a little bit of statistics from 2011 to 2017. This was actually on the presentation from OSHA. Not to be gloomy or anything about like safety and whatnot, but I think it's important talking about this right now, that you see that they brought this up in a meeting with a bunch of people from NIOSH, from other government agencies that were on the virtual meeting last week. They specifically talked about roofing and residential a lot. As you see, they're the top two by a vast amount. So it's something we definitely need to keep our eyes on and like keep striving towards each and every day. But as you know, no one's perfect, but I think there's definitely a lot of rooms for improvement for everyone on the board. And as I also talked about, we had the, did anyone participate in the fall prevention stand down last week? I can't see everyone, but you can shake your head if you did or did not. If you didn't, no worries. I think the next one will be in May. It's probably like on normal time, but they had to get postponed this year. It's something good every year to get your employees involved in. Just to keep reiterating, falls in construction, just so there's no complacency that sets in. That's just something I think it'd be very important. And you see, if you are still, you're on your job sites, you can see a nice little picture here. The guy's doing nice social distancing. And also, like, you can take like a nice little picture for your documentation, like you're doing stand downs to show your bosses, or you can also show like, local agencies, if they're like checking out your site, like, look, we're doing stand downs and they do nice social distancing. Everyone will love that. So also coming up, I wanted to talk about like the top 10 OSHA violations that were brought up as well most recently. As you can see, nothing out of the ordinary. Falls are definitely number one. Your scaffolding, ladders, number 2 and 3, and then training. That's kind of like a, oh, sorry about that. That's kind of like a one you really have to look at, because you have falls at 1, but it's just like general requirements, like normal, like standards, like guardrails, not tying off, etc. This one's important. Number 4 is training. We don't see a lot of people getting trained in our industry and home building, and that's something I think we really need to focus on. It's very important. Again, are we going to hit everyone? It's tough to say, because there's new workers every day coming in and out of the job sites, or leaving job sites going to another. But just I think it's like, it should be a mission to make sure whoever's on your job sites, to make sure you have the right documentation of training. Even if you have another contractor, you can shoot an email to their PM or superintendent or foreman, and then you can say, hey, can you show me a PDF file, or show me like this guy has a fall prevention training that he can be able to don and doff a harness, inspect it, know where to tie off on the roof or joist or wherever he's using, or if he's using a boom lift, just get something good to have, and just has, as well as like a CYA for your company's end. And then obviously you got eye and face protection. I don't want to tell you how many times I've had to talk to people on job sites with safety glasses. They can be a nuisance at times, but again, in the right circumstances, there are a lot of good safety glasses out there that you can use that don't fog up. You just gotta look. You just gotta find like the right pairs, good pairs, whatever you want to call it. But that obviously that is sitting at number 5, and then you got keep clicking and it keeps going away. And then you got like your other ones like head protection, excavation requirements. As I already talked about earlier, trenching as excavation is still like one of the leading killers in our home building industry, unfortunately. So that's something we really need to keep looking at as well. And then you got your normal aerial lifts, with that really focuses on guys not tying off in the lift or not inspecting their lifts prior to each use. And then you also got your fall protection systems and criteria, which could be like your controlled access zones, where you can't put like guardrails or other certain areas or other areas that are like your harnesses in that sense. So get kind of over like some of that boring jargon stuff. But all right, so like if anyone's not aware, we have a prevention, we created a prevention and preparedness plan. It is through its third edition already, or edit, if you might say, because we keep changing it through the CDC guidelines. It's on our website at nhb.org/coronavirus. It's something that I think will be beneficial for all the members and companies to maybe take a look at and use. There's templates there. There's good information to maybe you want to keep on your iPad or in a binder on your job site, or just in a file in one of your folders. It's very good to use. Let's see if I can click on the link right here and just show you real quick. I wonder if it's coming up here. Trying to see if the link will come up. Well, having issues there. Anyway, go to the nhb.org coronavirus site after presentation or tomorrow. and check it out if you haven't already. It has a lot of good information there from safety side, but also from other legal aspects to also like any other aspects from home building in that sense. So as we all know, I was unfortunately diagnosed with coronavirus 2 days ago. Yippee. It's okay. It's like a mild cold. I'm fine. But I think it's something that's important because we know COVID's not going away. And I know everyone's probably sick and tired of hearing it. But just remember to keep telling this to your employees. Stay home if you're sick. I mean, make sure your workers are washing their hands with soap and water with alcohol-based hand rubs that contain at least 60% alcohol. Make sure you're wearing like all the right face coverings, N95s, or at least something. CDC says, like, unfortunately, the gaiters aren't good enough right anymore. I like gaiters, but I guess like they're saying those don't work as well as like a tight knit like face covering that wraps around your face. And then just continue social distance best you can. I mean, I understand sometimes it's like kind of difficult on the job sites, but like I said, I'm just try to follow the best you can in the way, and just make sure guys are just wearing their masks if they're like coming near each other. And then, as you already know, avoid sharing equipment and tools. If you have multiple groups, maybe using like a couple of same tools, just make sure that that small group uses the same tools, and just make sure they're disinfecting them on a daily basis. So going to trenching and excavation, as I kind of already talked about earlier. As I already said, working in trenches and excavations can be one of the most dangerous construction operations. We've seen countless trench collapses in the past few years. There was a 16-year-old over in Virginia last year that died in a trench collapse on a home building site. That was very sad and unfortunate. And these soil cave-ins pose great risks, and you can also have other ones, potential hazards, even if you're not like crushed by the impending force. So you got like your hazardous atmospheres or other mobile equipment that can strike you. And if you didn't know, we also have another toolkit right here. You can take this one down. Let's see. The trenching and excavation toolkit will show you everything from what NHB has. Oh, this is nice. It goes to the page. And we have government resources. We actually have our brand new trenching video that just came out. You can see like all the information here from our toolkit. You can see we have our handbook here as well. Let's see. And then if you aren't aware of our safety toolbox talk page, we can, let me go to the safety toolbox talks, and I'll show you all the videos we have.
Christian, unfortunately, we're not seeing what you're seeing. We
You're
still
not?
have your power. No, unfortunately not. But what we'll do though is I'll include these links in an email, the follow-up email that I have for everyone, so they can check that out. But definitely keep talking through it. I'm just letting you know we just don't see it.
Oh yeah, I had no idea. I thought it was streaming. Yeah, no. It was,
Right.
So yeah, just you go to nhb.org/safety. You can see like that's like the main safety page that we have, and you can see like everything we have from Toolbox Talk videos to our toolkits to other legal and advocacy efforts that we're doing. Finishing up with like trenching and excavation. We have a handbook as well. It's available for purchase on our NHB site. I could probably also like once you get back in the office, like probably just you ask for like one, I could probably mail one down to you. But if we like sell these like at IBS or we sell them in bulk to certain members if they would like these in English and Spanish. And then, yeah, as you're aware, kind of we already talked about it. You got to look out for all these hazards. You got your cave-ins, collapses. You can have like equipment falling in there if it's not properly guarded off or spray painted. And there's workers in where they could be crushed. You could have flooding or water accumulation. These the gases and vapors, dusts, fumes, or lack of oxygen. You guys need to make sure your workers have the right oxygen levels. The oxygen levels need to be around like 21%. You also need to make sure to look for overhead electrical lines and no one's hit any of those. And then also the normal ones like slip, trips, falls. We already talked about being struck by moving machinery, and then being crushed by other objects. So I kind of talked about earlier is training necessary. So like most incidents are a result of like management failing to train their employees. So when you see a guy not being tied off properly, he was probably just given that harness that day, or he's probably had it for 2 weeks that someone else gave to him because he didn't have one, but the company didn't even give him. And he just, I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory. You can throw it, you put it on, you wrap it on your legs, your chest, and you put all the right hooks on and buckles. It's pretty self-explanatory, but is he trained to inspect to see like where all the threading is? There's certain threadings coming apart. Is it out of its service life? Is it older than like some service lives are like 5 years? So you just need to verify like workers have training, certifications, or other forms of documentation to avoid like, you know, those excessive fines. Because if someone gets hurt and they finally get out of training, there also could be other like civil or criminal penalties that could arise in those situations. So training is, if you take anything away from the training, make sure training is like a very top number one that's really need to focus on in 2021. And then probably like one of the other things that we see a lot, but we need to really focus on are like, you know, PPE. You need to make sure all your workers have the safety glasses on, the ones that say like ANSI ZA 7.1, not normal glasses or ones you get at or Walmart that are like readers, or you need to make sure all the workers have the right safety glasses and hard hats. So you see like different types of classes they have. We won't get too specific into those because that deals with like electrical workers and whatnot. And you also need to make sure your workers aren't just showing up on job with just tennis shoes. I know that might happen sometimes with these third-party contractors. You're out of the know on what's going on, but just try to enforce it the best you can, because that could be another easy citation if you see OSHA coming down the street, or if an injury occurs and you find out guy slipped off the roof just because he didn't have the good enough treads because he was wearing tennis shoes instead of like nice closed-toed leather boots or steel-toed boots. And also you got to make sure you guys got, you know, your reflective wear, like high-vis t-shirt or vest, cut-resistant gloves. You got the warmer weather this past summer, so you got to make sure your workers are, you know, have that adequate clothing or staying cool, or for like when it gets colder. North Carolina, I don't think it gets that cold, but you know, you never know when you might get like a nice snowstorm, so be aware of that. And then also, you know, your respirators, make sure you guys have proper N95s on the job sites. If you can get N95s, I would definitely recommend those. Be wary of using KN95s just because they're not NIOSH approved. My best bet is if they just have face covering, that's fine, but just if you can get N95s, that would keep your company's interests in the best hands. Also, if you aren't aware, or if you are, our SAFE awards are open. We have about 10 different awards you can apply for, from like Safety Champion of the Year, like Safety Program of the Year, and then we have like Multifamily Safety Program of the Year, like single family Safety Program of the Year, and like ones go from like 1 to 50 employees, 50 to 100 employees. So we have multiple different like sizes companies. The deadline is October 31st, and you see this 2019 people that winners last year at the 2020 IBS show, who all won. You know, you get like nice little like award, like glass wooden, like a plaque, and you get recognized, and it's something good to, you know, just like to have if you're like going for like future job bids and they're looking for, and they need like something for like safety. They need like certain safety like materials, and you can bring that up that you want an award. So if you have any questions, you know, my name is Christian Colligan. I do program managing for like health and safety at NHB. If not, I'm usually coming to associations normally like non-COVID time. Like I'm usually always around, so if I see you, I'll say hi. But I'm always here for questions. Take my email down, or if you like reach out to me and have a certain like question on OSHA, just shoot me an email. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. See if I can find out the answer for you. That's what I'm here for, to help. And again, any questions, just let me know.
That was great, Christian. Thank you for sharing. Does anyone have any questions, feedback, experiences?
I was going to ask where in Pennsylvania you're from, but.
How'd you know that? I'm from Pittsburgh. Like, well, I won't say Pittsburgh. I'll say I'm from like, it's called Oakmont, PA.
Yes, I know where. I'm from Pittsburgh. That's how I knew. Sorry.
What part?
Mount Lebanon.
Oh,
Like
Mount
South Coast. Randy, don't you have family in Pittsburgh?
My family is from a little town outside of Pittsburgh called Belle Vernon.
Belle Vernon, yep.
Farm community down in the Mon Valley.
Mm-hmm.
But, Christian, I'm sorry to hear about your diagnosis, and I hope you recover quickly.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, fine. I mean, had no. One of my other coworkers, not at NHB, like a colleague that we work with, like tested positive. And I was like, oh, I'll go get tested. And I went tested and ended up coming back positive. But it's no more than a mild cold. I mean, probably people have underlying conditions. They got to be careful. But yeah, right, no fever or anything. It's just got to isolate and do my part.
Got it. Much of the safety information, I think, for the builders in the group is a reminder of what the biggest issues are on site. And you emphasize training. And what do you suggest for putting field crew through, say, fall protection training? Do you think that there's really strong providers out there for reminder courses?
I would do like, do you have local consulting companies? They do great trainings. I mean, it'll be for a fee, but if you like the one HB doing, we're doing it for free. If you have like a company that members, they want to go through training, they can go through that 4.5 hour training. It's not like they won't get like an OSHA 30 hour out of that, but it's like they'll have documentation that they were trained in fall protection, because you go through like a test. Look out for, yeah, I would just go online. I could also do research for you as well. I know consultants over here in like the DC region that do like OSHA 30 hours, that do like specific like trainings that like they have to go on site to train like certain companies, like trenching excavation, fall protection training, all that stuff. So if you don't have like your own safety person, for your company, yeah, I'll definitely like look for, there's definitely a lot of online online trainings you can use, but I would probably I think the most beneficial one will probably be having maybe a consultant come out, unless you have like something in it, unless you know that there's a training going on like the one we're doing with NHB.
Yeah, most of our guys, one of the things we did when we slowed down for a couple of weeks for COVID was, and I still don't think they've all gotten over this, but all of our site crew did OSHA 30. But I was thinking more about physically being on site with a trainer and running through fall protection, for example. It's one thing to do it virtually or take the courses online or do classroom stuff. I'm thinking about somebody that's on site helping our guys improve the safety on our sites.
Oh yeah, I would. I would definitely look for local consulting companies, or if there are larger safety consulting companies in your area, just to because they'll definitely bring someone out on their site, and then they'll be able to see and help your guys, you know, like mitigate the risks they see and their challenges they're facing and how they can and help them think outside the box.
Great.
For like an on-site training, yeah, you would probably have to get like maybe like a job site trailer or like, because just so that you want to do like a classroom for actual documented training. But if you want just like a consultant to come on site and to help your guys and assess like risk and stuff, you could probably easily have like that person come out and just make sure they're and then they could teach them everything. They won't just be like, they won't be signing off on like a training, but you could also bring someone on site for a training as well. You would just have to set up like a classroom type environment.
So, all right, thanks for my question. Appreciate it.
And Randy, I think also one of our members, Associated Scaffolding, they offer training as well. I'm not sure if it's on site or off site, but that's something certainly that we can look more into as well.
Back in the days when we did on, you know, person-to-person classes, some of our folks have been trained at Associated, and I think it's just almost, yeah, it makes sense, I guess, ancillary or connected to their business. So.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, anybody else have anything? Any feedback, questions for Christian while we have him? All right, well, Christian, thank you so much for being with us. I hope you feel super better very quickly.
Oh yeah, I appreciate it. Thank you.
This is a great
Thank you,
information.
Christian. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome. Appreciate you all having me.